Before we get into today's episode, I have a special announcement that, besides my kids, might be the best thing I've ever created. You want to know the secret to actually becoming who you're meant to be without getting lost in either pure science or woo-woo spirituality? Well, here's the thing. It's not about becoming some perfect version of yourself that feels impossible to maintain. It's more about understanding who you really are and what you love, and then creating a life around that. And that's exactly why I created Living Mind Love. Each month, we combine brain science with soul wisdom to help you make real changes that stick. Everything I've learned from nearly 500 interviews with the world's most brilliant minds, broken down into tiny little shifts that feel natural and actually work. So this is about bringing together science and soul in a way that actually works. Plus, you'll be part of the first ever Mind Love community on School, so we get to figure this all out together. So if you want to make 2025 your best year ever, go to mindlove.com/living to join the waitlist, and you'll get instant access to my 10-year vision meditation. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome to an exclusive episode of Mind Love. Today's episode is all about the connection between gut health and mental health.
Without the friendly bacteria in our gut that are our gut microbiome, and we have microbiomes on our skin, in our mouth, in our sinuses, in our vaginas, for those who have them all over our bodies, those microbiomes help to break our food down and assimilate vitamins, nutrients, and provide the precursors, the building blocks for our neurotransmitters. And so if your gut isn't happy, it's actually hard for you to be happy because that's how it works. And so I had intermittent depression and anxiety that sometimes made sense in terms of the situation and often didn't. And I realize now, having healed my gut, that the healthier and happier my digestion is, the more easily I feel joy. It just comes more easily, the less anxiety, the less worry I have.
We all know that stress is basically terrible for us. They even call it the silent killer. The Institute of Heart Math says that stress has been recognized as the #1 proxy killer disease today. Even the American Medical Association has said that stress is the basic cause for more than 60% of all human illnesses and diseases. Yet, most of us admit to feeling stressed at least a few times throughout the day, like it's just a fact of life that we have no control over. We have these endless to-do lists in the back of our minds, or we're rushing around trying to get places, or we have a feeling of guilt, like no matter what we're doing, there's still something else that we should be doing. Or we put other people before ourselves, or we get caught up in these ideas of perfectionism. All of which makes it really hard to be in the present moment. And this stress has become so common that sometimes we don't even realize that we're stressed. I can totally relate to that. Actually, for most of my life, I just thought I didn't get stressed out. But then I realized I just experienced stress differently than what I thought it was. I tend to just put everything off when I'm stressed, like I just check out and think it's going to make everything better if I don't see it. But all the while, it's just building up to be a bigger monster than it was to start. So for me, the indicator that I'm in one of these periods of stress denial is that my emotional tank is just full. So while it might look like I'm just enjoying the day, just one new decision that has to be made or one thing happens that I wasn't expecting and my emotions just overflow. I can snap. And it's in those moments that I can really feel the impact that stress has on my body. Think about it. It's hard to think reasonably. Everything just seems like a crisis, and then you act like it is. Your body tenses up. Your heart beats faster. When your body is working so hard just to get through one moment, it has less energy for all of the other important things that it needs to do to actually keep you alive and healthy. And right now, I'm just talking about day-to-day stress. We haven't even begun to talk about the stress of trauma yet. Most of us have gone through some type of trauma. And trauma doesn't just refer to something as big as sexual assault or abuse or something big that happened in your life. Trauma can be as basic as something we just have a hard time getting over. A moment in time that we hold on to or resist because it left some sort of impact on how we view the world or how we view ourselves. And it's our bodies that hold on to this trauma. It leaves an imprint on how our body reacts. It can actually cause our mental or physical processes to malfunction. So we push these traumas out of our minds and we deny our emotions, so that memory has to go somewhere and it just gets lodged in our bodies. This in itself is stress. So a lot of us are just carrying layers of stress that we've built up throughout our lives, regardless of what we're doing. You can be on vacation, relaxing on the beach with your family. And little do you know, you've also brought along the complicated relationship with your mom and that time the class bully embarrassed you in front of everyone in 3rd grade. Yeah, most of us are basically emotional hoarders. So we have all this stress living in our bodies, and guess where we store most of it? In our gut. Our gut is connected to everything else. An unhealthy gut can cause all sorts of other problems with the body. It's basically the core of everything else in the body. And there's a really strong connection between the gut and the brain. So stick with me here. The trauma and the stress cause gut issues, which can then cause even more mental imbalances like anxiety and depression. And it's this whole cycle. Do you see how everything is connected? So if this is all so common, what do we do about it? That's what we're talking about today. And our guest is Victoria Albina. She's a certified life coach and breathwork meditation guide. And she's also a family nurse practitioner and has a master's degree in public health and has over 20 years experience in health and wellness. And she's going to help us realize that we are our own best healers. So 3 key things we will learn are how trauma can spark chronic gut symptoms, the often overlooked link between your gut health and being able to listen to your intuition, and why enforcing boundaries has more impact on our physical health than we realize. Hey there, wild minds. So this was just a preview, but you can access the whole episode with a Mind Love Premium membership. If Mind Love has been helpful to you in any way, consider helping support the show by joining this exclusive community. I promise I'm making it totally worth it. You get exclusive episodes, which means twice the Mind Love, in a private feed that imports right to your favorite podcast app, so you don't have to go to the web to listen. And that's not all. You also get all Mind Love episodes ad-free for uninterrupted listening. You get early access to episodes, and you get bonus video interviews and powerful meditation downloads. And finally, you get priority access to me, so you're free to reach out to me with any questions that you have about life, love, relationships, success, whatever it might be. And in more good news, you can get started free with a 2-week free trial. Just go to mindlove.com/premium. And if you're a student, reach out to me on Instagram and I'll give you a special discount.